You are watching Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
A very good afternoon, viewers at home, and welcome to your favorite teleeducation program, Home Study. We are very sorry for the slight delay, but we are back with a bang, and we are going to deliver the best way as possible. My name is Lirato Mabilisa, and with me is my co-host Nogwazi Dlamini and the sign language interpreter Nomcebo Dlamini. A very good afternoon, Nogwazi.
A very good afternoon, Lerato, and of course a very good afternoon to our viewers at home. Welcome to Home Study on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, and this is what your day of learning looks like today. From now until 2:30 p.m. we have grades 1 and 2, and they are doing general studies. From 2:30 p.m. until 3 p.m. we have grade 3 and 4 lessons, and they are doing practical arts. From 3 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. we have grade 3 and 4 again, and they are doing French. From 3:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. we have the Form 1s and 2s, and they are doing Eswatini. From 4 p.m. until 4:30 p.m. we have Form 4 mathematics. And the last subject for the day from 4:30 p.m. until 5 p.m. is Eswatini for the Form 4s.
Just a quick reminder, dear viewer, that we do have social media platforms, which are YouTube and Facebook, where we are live from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. Do not forget to click the subscribe button so that whenever we are live, you get a notification.
Yes, of course. Let's get on with the show. Right after the break is the grades 1 and 2 lesson, which is general studies, and we will be right back after this.
Return my son to me. I'm going to go get him.
Ow, it hurts! Hey, I haven't even touched you yet. Stop being a baby. Kandimba! Get back here! Kandimba! Kandimba! Where are you?
What's with that phrase? You don't feel well? How did your interview go?
Bad. Really bad.
Well, I'd like to have a cup of coffee, please.
Because I want to help you out,
Your
I really
father
can't.
won't let you.
It's just that at this time, the sales of the store don't justify hiring another person, Auntie.
But if that's the issue, I could work on commission, Sarah. I already proved to you I'm a good salesperson.
Look, I'm really sorry, but jobs don't just pop up because people need them.
Maybe you should find someone who feels as lonely as you do. Someone who knows how to spoil you and likes it.
Welcome back, grade 1s and 2s. My name is Lirato Mabilisa, and with me in the studio is the sign language interpreter Nomcebo Dlamini and your teacher Hlatshwayo. A very good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Lerato. How are you?
I'm fine. So we are learning general studies, and the topic is family.
Yes.
What would you expect the viewer to have learned by the end of this lesson?
Thank you, Lerato. I expect my learners today to be able to identify and name family members in a picture. They are also expected to name their family members. They are also expected to tell what they do together with their family, and I expect them to select a picture that looks almost like their family from different pictures. And lastly, they will draw a picture of their family.
Okay, without wasting any time, please begin your lesson.
Thank you, Lerato. May I greet and welcome all my twinkling little stars at home. May I welcome you with this wonderful song. You can stand and look at the TV as we sing. Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, I'm fine. I hope that you are too. Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, I'm fine. I hope that you are too. Thank you very much, my angels. Let us start our lesson. We are learning about family, as we have said. Why do we have to learn about family? Everyone comes from a family, so we need to know more about families so that we relate well with them. Okay, let's move on. Look at this picture. What do you see in this picture? Aha, I can hear someone saying, I see a girl. Yes, my dear angels, this is a girl. Her name is Zama. Her name is Zama. Zama is 6 years old. She lives in Mbabane and she lives with her family. Just look at Zama. How does she look? Yes, she looks happy. Why do you say so? Because she is wearing a smile. Now let's meet Zama's family. Aha, look at them. They look very beautiful and very happy. They are also smiling like Zama. Now, let us name the people in the picture. Let us name the people that you see in this picture. We shall start with the eldest. Who is this? Who is this? I can hear someone saying, this is grandfather. This is grandfather. I know some of you are used to calling him granny. That's good. That's grandfather. And then, who is this? Who is this one? This one is grandmother. This one is grandmother. Yes, my angels, I know you are used to calling her granny. All right. And who is this one? This one is father. This one is father. I know you are used to calling him daddy or dad. Yes, that's good. And who is this one? This one is mother. This one is mother. Most of you call her mommy or mom. Good. And let's look at this one. Who is he? This is brother. This is brother. And who is this last one? She is sister in the family. This is the sister in the family. So we have grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, brother, sister. Okay, my angels. In some families, you find that there are additional members. Those are uncle, aunt, and cousin. These are also members of the family. Okay, let's move on, my beautiful angels. Now it's your turn to tell us the people you name, the people in your family. The people in your family. I can hear someone is saying, I live with my mother. Someone is saying, I live with my aunt. Someone is saying, I live with brother Sipo, but I will only write brother. I will not write his name. Someone is saying, I live with my uncle. That's good, my angels. Uncle. And someone is saying, I live with my baby sis, Zinhle. I will write sister. I will not write Zilhle. I will write sister. Okay. Someone is saying, I live with my dad. That is father. That is father. Thank you very much, my angels. Give yourself a shine for that. Let's move on now and look at what families do together. What families do together. Let's look at these pictures. Look at picture number 1, this one. What is the family doing in the picture? This family is going to church together. Picture number 2, what are they doing? They are sitting around the dining table and they are eating. They are sitting together and eating. Look at picture number 3. What are they doing? Yes, they are watching television. They are watching television. Remember, my friend, don't sit on the television for the whole day. We have to go out and play sometime. Okay, picture number 4. What are they doing? They are doing shopping. They are in town. See the buildings? They are in town. Why do you say they are shopping? Look at the plastic bags. They are carrying plastic bags, which means they have bought some things from their shops. Maybe toys, maybe sweets, or the groceries. But they are doing it together. Now, my dear angels, can you please tell me what you and your family do together? Mention the things, tell us the things that you do together with your family. Adding on what we have seen on the above pictures. I can hear someone saying, we play together with my family. We can play cards. You can play snake and ladder. You can play tennis. You can play soccer. That's very good. I can hear someone saying, we work together. We work together. Maybe helping each other with the daily chores. Maybe working in the garden or the fields. That is working together. I can hear someone say, we pray together with my family. We pray. Usually, before we sleep, many families come together and pray. Okay, not now, my twinkly little stars. It is very important for families to spend time together because God created and made the family so that they love and care for each other. I hope when you are with your family, you feel happy. So the time you spend together, you show the love and the care for each other. Now let's sing this song about family. Are you ready, my friend? Let's sing. I love my family. I love my family. I love my family. God gave them to me. My brother cares for me. My sister cares for me. I love my family. God gave them to me. My father cares for me. My mother cares for me. I love my family. God gave them to me. That's very good, my friend. Give yourself a warm hug. You must always be happy when you are with your family. Show love and care for each other. Okay, let's move on, my best friend. Here are pictures. What are they showing? These pictures, they are showing different families. So families are different. They don't look the same. Look at this picture. Look at picture number 1. We have a family that we call a small family. This is called a small family. All right. Let's count the numbers of the people in this family. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. We say it's a small family because there are few people in this family. All right. Secondly, some families are big. They are big families. We say they are big because they have many people. Like this one. Look at this picture. And also this one. These pictures are showing us big families because they have many members. Let's count this one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it's a big family. Okay. The third type, single parent family. Single parent family. Single means one. Single means one. Which means this type of family has one parent and their children. For example, this one. This picture shows one parent and the children. This picture shows the mother and her 2 children. Let's look at this one also. This picture also shows a single parented family. It's the father and his or her son. The last type of family is the child-headed. Child-headed family. This means that there are no parents, no grandparents, but it's only the children by themselves. So the older child takes the responsibility of taking care of the younger children, like this one. This picture shows a child-headed family. So we have small families, we have big families, we have single-parented families, and then we have child-headed families. Okay, my little angels, let's move on. Now is your turn to say what type of families are shown in these pictures. What type of families are shown in these pictures? Let's look at this one, the first one. Aha, I can hear someone saying it's a big family. Why do you say so? Because there are many people. Very good. Give yourself a high five. Okay? The second picture. What type of family is this? Yes, my angel. This is a small family. There are few people, but they are both parents. So it's a small family. Now let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. What type of family is this? Yes, my angel. This is a single-parented family. We see one parent in this picture who is the father and his 2 boys. The father and his 2 boys, it's a single-parented family. There is no mother. Okay, let's look at this one. What type of family is this? Yes, my angel, very good. This is a child-headed family. This is a child-headed family. Why do we say so? Because there are only children. There is no parent here. All right. The last one. The last one. Again, it's a single-parented family. We see the mother and her children. We see the mother and her children. Very good, my angels. Let's move on. So, now, I have work to do for you. after this lesson, you must turn to page 4 of your workbook, select and tick the picture, select and tick the picture that looks almost like your family on page 4 of your workbooks. All right? Then you turn to page 2. Page 2 of your workbook, you are going to draw a picture of your family. You draw all the members of your family. If you don't have your workbook with you, you are going to take a piece of paper. Remember to color your picture to make it look beautiful. And you are going to show it to your mother. You will show your work to your mother or father, uncle, cousin, sister or brother, anyone who will able to help you at home. All right. My beautiful and little twinkly little stars, we have come to the end of our lesson. Before we end it, let us remind ourselves, what did we learn today? We have learned that everyone comes from a family. We have also learned that families do things together. Okay? We have also learned that families are different. They don't look the same. Thank you very much, my twinkly little stars. Till we meet again, goodbye.
Thank you very much, Teacher Slachayo. That was a very interesting lesson for the grade 1s and 2s about their families. We're hoping when you come back with another interesting lesson.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Up next is the grade 3 and 4 practical arts class. So if you're in grade 3 and grade 4, do not go anywhere. Teacher Dlamini will be back after this infomercial.
With the change in technology, out-of-home digital media is designed to grab the attention of people who are always on the go. You can now watch your favorite show, Usile Breakfast Show, and Dinzaba at 7 on your favorite YouTube channel.
It's simple. You can stream these shows by following these quick, easy steps. Number 1, open YouTube. Number 2, search for Eswatini TV and click on Eswatini TV. Number 3, after you had entered on Eswatini TV, look for Dinzaba or KPS. And while you at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell button to get notifications of our video uploads and streams. And lastly, enjoy the stream. Stay home and watch Eswatini TV. Stay safe.
Why should we pay our TV license?
The content on our local television is actually more up to date. The industry is enhanced.
It is a criminal offense not to pay your TV license and attracts a fine of 500 emalangeni or 6 months imprisonment.
And the industry is definitely blooming, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we have for you. But we'll be right back just after the break, and we'll give you more of Miss V.
Pay my TV license. That's why I can enjoy the benefits of an enhanced industry and keep track with recent transformation.
Mom, who pays for a TV license and what are they paying for?
The owners of TV set and a gadget with a tuner like DVD set have to pay.
Pay your TV license at NetBank with the details provided on screen. Or use your cell phone via the mobile money pay. You could also visit your nearest post office and pay there. Pay your TV license via Eswatini Mobile Imali. Any TV device retailer can purchase a license to trade. Pay your TV license and enhance the industry.
It is important every now and then to check, am I still in the receiving hand of God, or am I in the receiving hand of the lies from the enemy?
salvation is free because Christ paid for everything, and that's true. But discipleship will cost you everything.
Love each other as if your life depends on it.
As a canvas reflects the nature of a personality or an artist, so creation teaches us about who God is.
We are made great by becoming small. We are exalted when we're humble.
Buhle bethu imvelo yethu. Buhle bethu tindzawo tethu. Indalo yashada nemasiko kuhle kwethu. Kuvakasha kwethula umthwalo emahlombe ethu. Hloma ngwane vuka uvakashe indlela uyikhombe etindzaweni tethu. Temvelo nembukiso ungcebeleke uthathe netithombe. Lalela ke nangu somkhondlo waseswatini akutekela ayibeka indzaba ayihlela kuhle kwelijaha lishela ngiyakutshela diningi tindzawo longativakashela hloma ngwane vuka uvakashe la phana lapha kuvakasha kuyayelapha enhlitiyo kanye nemqondo kuyawuphumuda uqinisa buhlobo nebungane losebundenga ndenga with a trip to Mandenga Falls or a sip among friends of Sibebe Brew on Sibebe Mountain, or perhaps your cup of tea is backpacking and horse riding, sightseeing the seamless streams and springs that stream across the gorgeous valleys of the mountainous kingdoms of Eswatini. We have you covered. Hloma ngwane vuka uvakashe buhle bethu imvelo yethu buhle bethu ngabuthola nasebantwini bethu.
Welcome back, grade 3s and 4s. This is your practical arts lesson with teacher Ndombi Dlamini. My name is Lerato Mabilisa, and joining me in the studio is the sign language interpreter Nompumelelo Hatebi. A very good afternoon, teacher Dlamini.
Afternoon, Lerato. How are you?
I'm alright. How are you today?
I'm good too, sis.
So today's topic is primary and secondary colors.
Yes.
What would you expect the grade 3s and 4s to have learned by the end of the lesson?
By the end of the lesson, my grade 3s, you should be able to name and identify primary and secondary colors. You should be able to color in shapes using primary colors. You should be able to mix primary colors to make secondary colors. You should be able to use the primary colors to paint.
Okay, without wasting any time, please begin your lesson.
My dear grade 3s, greetings to you. I'm Miss Ndombi Dlamini, taking you for practical art. May you please get yourself a practical art workbook, coloring pencils, powder, paint. We will use red, yellow, and blue paint. We'll use paint brushes. Sorry for that, my dear Lena. Paint brushes, a plain sheet of paper, some water, a newspaper, and 3 small bowls. Oh, sorry. Practical arts is a subject that equips you with life skills. It helps you, my dear Lena, to learn practical skills that you need in your daily life. On the other hand, mixing colors encourages you to develop the sense of beauty, and it helps you develop an appreciation of the different colors in the entire environment. My dear Lena, can you imagine the world or the environment without color? How would it look? May I ask you to close your eyes? Open them what did you see? There was nothing. So when you've opened your eyes, you saw all the beautiful things that were around you. So colors play an important role in the world we live in, and they are part of our everyday life. My dear Lena, in your preschool years, grade 1 and 2, you learned about colors. May you look around where you are and identify the colors that are around you. Oh, red. Wow, white, black, and pink. Okay, which colors do you like the most? Oh, you like red. You like yellow. You like pink. Or you like orange. Why do you like these colors? So you say they are bright and beautiful. My dear Lena, there are different types of colors. So let us talk about primary and secondary colors. Primary colors are the colors that can be mixed together to make other colors. These colors are red, yellow, and blue. They are primary colors because they can be mixed together to make other colors. My dear Lena, may you open on page 60 in your workbooks. There's an activity there that we'll have to do right now. The topic reads primary colors. We've just learned that primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. So now, may you color the circles blue. Wow, wonderful. May you color the squares red. Excellent. May you color the triangles yellow. Wow, may you give a hand of applause. Clap hands for yourselves. You have done a wonderful job. So now let us move on to secondary colors. Remember, we've just learned about primary colors. Now we are moving on to secondary colors. Secondary colors are produced when two primary colors are mixed together equally. These colors, you mix them equally. So these colors are purple, green, and orange. These are secondary colors. You get them after mixing two of the primary colors that we've just learned about. My dear Lena, remember you had paint. So you have to prepare the work area before you start painting. Make sure you prepare the work area before painting. You can use a newspaper or a cloth. A newspaper or a cloth. You do not have to taste any mixtures since paint is not to be eaten. So we are not supposed to taste the paint because it is not eaten. Be careful also not to splash paint on yourself because this will make you dirty. So after using your paint, you have to tidy up. You wash the brushes. You wash your hands with soap and running water. And then you can keep your work done. I said you should prepare the work area. So now we are going to show you how you'll have to prepare the work area by using a newspaper. If you don't have a newspaper, you can use a cloth. If you are using a table, cover the table with the newspaper so that it cannot get dirty. Then you start your painting. My dear Lena, we have 3 primary colors that we will use. We said there is yellow, there is blue, and there is red. So we are mixing the primary colors to get secondary colors. May you take your blue paint, as you can see, my dear Lena, you mix it with the red paint in equal proportions. They should be equal. You use the teaspoon. You take a teaspoon of red paint, you mix it with a teaspoon of blue paint. So, what color do you see? What color do you see? Red plus blue gives you purple. Yes, if you can look at your paint that you've just made, it is purple. So red plus blue is equal to purple. Remember, we are using equal quantities, equal amounts of the paint. Let us move on. We do another one. May you take a yellow paint and a blue paint. A teaspoon of yellow paint and a teaspoon of blue paint. What color do you see? Yes, you got color green. You got color green. So yellow plus blue is equal to green. Yellow plus blue is equal to green. So these 2 are primary colors. The last one, the green, is a secondary color. It is a secondary color because we got it when we were mixing yellow and blue. Let's do the last one, my friend. Can you mix a yellow paint and red paint? A teaspoon of yellow paint and a teaspoon of red paint. You put some water, you mix. What color do you see? Oh, you got orange. Wonderful. You got orange. So, red plus yellow is equal to orange. Red plus yellow is equal to orange. And this orange, we say it is a secondary color. It is a secondary color. So, my dear friend, we've just learned about secondary colors, and we mixed 2 of the primary colors to get the secondary color. We said the secondary colors are purple, green, and orange. Purple, green, and orange. My dear grade 3, can you look at this? What can you see? Yes, it is the Eswatini flag. It is the Eswatini flag, and it is very beautiful. Can you identify the colors there, the primary colors that we have just learned about? Oh yes, there is color blue. We said blue is a primary color. Oh, there is also color red. And there is also color yellow. Wow. So the Eswatini flag has the 3 primary colors that we just learned about. My dear learner at home, you open your workbooks on page 61. On page 61. There is a homework that you'll have to do after this lesson. So in this activity, you'll have to color using your pencil crayons. You'll have to color using your pencil crayons. What color do we get when we mix red and yellow? When we mix red and yellow. What color do we get when we mix yellow and blue? Yellow and blue. What color do we get when we mix red and blue? Red and blue. So, my dear learner, we have come to the end of the lesson, but before we tidy up, let me ask you, what did we learn about? What was this lesson about? Oh yes, it was about primary colors. It was about primary colors and secondary colors. Which are the primary colors that you learned about? Oh yes, it is blue, it is red and yellow. It is blue, red and yellow. Which are the secondary colors that you learned about? Oh yes, the secondary colors are purple, green and orange. They are purple, green and orange. So these are the secondary colors. Why? Because they are produced when 2 primary colors are mixed together equally. My dearest grade 3, we have come to the end of the lesson. I hope you enjoyed doing and listening. So meet you again next time. Remember, you should wash your hands with soap and water all the time. You should sanitize your hands. You should sanitize your hands. You should always put on your mask. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Teacher Dlamini. It was very interesting knowing about the secondary and the primary colors. Thank you very much for today's lesson.
Thank you, Sister.
Okay. Up next is the grade 3 and 4 class again. And this time you are going to be learning a very interesting subject as well, which is French. So grade 3s and 4s, do not go anywhere. We will be back after this infomercial.
This week on Eswatini Lifestyle.
Gentile, the vibes.
The vibes are right.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys can have fun anywhere. Trust me. Anywhere.
Ngiyathi ukuthi lithalenta eSwatini liyenyuka lilanga especially ku-comedy sector.
Wonke sonke lesikole nangithi ngifaka lona sikazi ugcina nje ngi sola sikaptini uyangivakhe nje.
Sinabo small, sinabo gogo, nabo silwane khiphani mamaski batonive emakhaya banive.
Angithi lo moya uyevakala abantu abamnothi awusesisuke kuempeni. Na uthi asithi ukuthi hem.
Sayivele isukile masoti labahle.
Tune in to Eswatini TV this Friday at 6:30 p.m.
Better health, better life. It's another season on your favorite program, Better Health, Better Life, here on Eswatini TV.
Ayinibingelele nimukele babukele emakhaya kulolu hlelo i-Better Health, Better Life. Lona thulula hlelo ngunokuphila masangana.
It's all about our health, our better health today, and our better life tomorrow. In the midst of this global pandemic coronavirus, Better Health, Better Life brings you closer to your health professionals.
Ifake emlonyeni wakhe. Nangabe nje ngidla indlo legcwele amafutha, le ndlo ngidla.
So siyakhuthaza ukuthi lala abahlala nalala banashukela abafunde nabo ngaloshukela.
Watch out for another fresh season of Better Health, Better Life on Eswatini TV. It's getting bigger and better every season. This season with COVID-19 is a must to watch for everyone in every home. Better Health, Better Life, your gateway to a healthy living.
At this point, you shouldn't feel as if you do not have it. You have it for sure.
Find something you like doing.
Yeah.
Say invest in yourself.
I am your host, Dianza Dlamini, and you're watching Fame Unfiltered. Good night and God bless.
Welcome back, grade 3s and 4s. As I had said, we are learning a very interesting subject today, and we are learning French with Mr. Mark Kiomba. A very good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm great, and you?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
So today's topic is les salutations.
Oui, les salutations et les prises de congé.
Oh, okay. Ouais. So what do I say if I want to say hello? Do I say bonjour?
Bonjour, yeah.
Okay. Okay, without wasting any time, you may begin your lesson.
Okay. Bonjour. Welcome, my dear Elena, at home. Today is a French lesson for grade 3 and grade 4. My name is Monsieur Mark Makole Kiomba, and today we are learning les salutations et les prises de congé. Les salutations. Today's lesson, at the end of the lesson, we should be able to identify the greetings used depending on the time of the day. And we should be able to identify the wishes used according to the time of the day. Also, we should be able to differentiate when we are greeting an adult and when we are greeting a friend. Our keyword for today, and I believe, dear Elena, you have your notebook, you have your pen and pencil. I want you to take notes. Our keyword for today are bonjour, which means hello, good morning. And we have salut, which means hi. We have bonsoir, bonsoir, which means good evening. We have à bientôt, which means see you soon. And we have bonne nuit. Bonne nuit, which means good night. And we have professeur. Professeur, which means teacher. And the last one, we have monsieur. And we have madame. Monsieur means Mr. Madame means Mrs. Okay, for a first, we're going to start by watching a dialogue between a child and an adult. So, in this dialogue, I want you to focus on how they will greet each other and the age of people who are involved. Let's watch.
Bonjour Magaziwe.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Bonjour Magaziwe.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Okay, that was the first dialogue, and as you can see, this dialogue I will focus on the following. Bonjour, monsieur, comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci, and I will talk about au revoir. Okay, bonjour. Bonjour means hello. Bonjour means good morning. Monsieur. Monsieur means Mr. Monsieur does not mean teacher as others think. Monsieur means Mr. Comment ça va? Means how are you? Comment ça va? And we have ça va bien. Ça va bien, merci. Ça va bien, merci. I am fine, thank you. And the last one for this dialogue with au revoir. Au revoir. Au revoir means bye. Okay. We're going to proceed to the second dialogue. Let's watch.
Madame Winnie.
Bonjour Inès.
Comment ça va?
Ça va mal. Et toi?
Ça va bien. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bonjour Madame Winnie.
Bonjour Inès.
Comment ça va?
Ça va mal. Et toi?
Ça va bien. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Watching the second dialogue. So in this dialogue, as you can see, the words are written there. I will focus on Madame. Ça va mal. Et toi? The others have explained the first dialogue. So in this dialogue, it's only Madame and ça va mal et toi. Okay. Madame means Mrs. And ça va mal. Let me stop there first. Ça va mal means I am not fine. And then we have et toi, which means and you. So, toi is used when you are referring to a friend or someone younger than you. You can use toi and you. Okay. Let us watch the third dialogue where Magaziwe will meet his other teacher in the evening. I want you to focus on the responses of the teacher. Let's watch. Ah, bonsoir Magaziwe.
Bonsoir monsieur.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien monsieur et vous?
Ça va très bien. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Ouais. Ah, bonsoir Magaziwe.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, monsieur, et vous?
Ça va très bien. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Ouais. Okay, thank you for watching that dialogue. So, in this dialogue as well, I'll focus on bonsoir and et vous. Bonsoir and et vous. Bonsoir Magaziwe, bonsoir monsieur, comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci, et vous? Bonsoir. Bonsoir means good evening. Bonsoir. Ça va bien, merci, as I said earlier on. Ça va bien, merci means I am fine, thank you. Et vous? Et vous means and you. Remember earlier on I said et toi. Toi when you are referring to a friend or to someone younger than you. But in this context now, we are using et vous. Vous is used, it refers to an adult or, in other words, someone older than you. So, ça va bien, merci, et vous? I'm fine, thank you, and you? Okay, we are going to watch the last dialogue for today's lesson. In this dialogue, two kids are involved. So, two kids meet in the evening. I want you to focus on how they will greet each other. Let's watch.
Salut Magaziwe.
Salut Inès.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci. Et toi?
Ça va. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Salut Magaziwe.
Salut Inès.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci. Et toi?
Ça va. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Très bien. So, this is the last dialogue, and in this dialogue, I'll focus on salut. These are two friends who are meeting. So, the greeting that they can use there is salut. As they say there, salut Magaziwe, and then salut Inès. Salut is used when two friends want to meet. They can also use bonjour, it's good, but salut is especially for friends. You can't say salut to an adult. Okay, thank you. If there's any question, so far, I can respond. I'm ready for those questions.
A viewer's asking if you can use vous if you're speaking to a younger person. If you're speaking to a child the same age as you, can you use vous or you use toi?
As I said, you use toi to someone younger than you, and you use vous to your friend or an adult. And toi also, you can use it to a friend or someone younger than you. Vous, you use it to an adult, someone older than you.
Okay, so you cannot use toi to an adult.
You can use, but vous show more respect compared to toi.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, dear Lena, en conclusion, we've arrived to the end of our lesson. So, in conclusion, we've learned bonjour. Bonjour, which means hello or good morning. We've learned bonsoir, which means good evening. And we've learned salut, which means hi and is used between friends. And the response of bonjour is bonjour. The response of bonsoir is bonsoir. Salut is salut. Mal, when you're not feeling well, you say ça va mal. When you ask comment ça va, and then you can say ça va mal, which means I am not fine. And if you want to ask the same question to the person, instead of repeating the question, you can just say et toi when you are referring to a friend or someone younger than you. And you can use et vous and you to someone that you respect or someone other than you. Ok, chers élèves, maintenant nous sommes arrivés à la fin de la leçon. We've arrived at the end of our lesson. Retrouvons-nous prochainement. Let us meet next time when we'll learn or we'll talk about se présenter, which means introducing oneself. Au revoir.
Thank you very much. Merci. Merci beaucoup. Is that what you say in French?
Yes, merci.
Okay.
Ouais.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today. I learned a lot of words actually, and the lesson was very interesting. We're hoping you're going to come again with another interesting French lesson.
Oui.
Okay, thank you for watching grade 3s and 4s. Up next is the Form 1, Form 2 and Form 4 classes. So if you are in Form 1, 2 or Form 4, do not go anywhere. Nogwazi will be back with the teachers after this infomercial.
Sinibusele maswati lamahle kanye nabo bonke bazalwane eveni laseswatini. Igama lami ngingu-Ayandazwane, Health Promotions Officer walohlelo lolushasha lolubitwa ngekuthi yi-Faith and Community Initiative, kafishane FCI.
Njengoba sisho sobe sikhuluma ngokusebenzisana nekubani. Bafundisi nisho njalo namabani anebantu akhiwa abantu lebafikayo lebangela lamaswati lesikhuluma ngabo. And kuyindlela nje kuba ngiyona leyo platform lenye lekubonakala ukuthi singayisebenzisa kwabonakala even then ukuthi singayisebenzisa ukuze ukuthi sikhone ukuthi sifike kubo bonke ba
ikakhulu lubuke ukuthi bantu basitakale kwekucala endzabeni yokuthi kwanze umsebenzi wokuvikela igciwane le-HIV la kangwane.
But labantu bebathi disclose bona bathi sho bona sibanjani baphathekile bajantazelwe labo banlabo nabativa bangcono bebasithatha hayi ngitiva sengiphilile mina asizange ngisho kanye ndakunika nje good example sibatshela sabayekela amaphilisi
namhla ke ngibheka utokuthata indvodza ntokuthata babe ukuthi asade isimo sakhe sengadi kumcoka ukuthi usade isimo sengadi ukuze utokhombisa luthando lonalo emndenini wakho utokhombisa luthando lonalo nasemphakathini.
At it again, once again, what it is, it's the biggest, the dopest, the freshest. The biggest, the dopest, the freshest, the sickest. It's the illest. Illest. It's the biggest, the dopest, the freshest, the sickest, the illest. Entertainment on your TV screens is TBD. Welcome to it, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Beatdown. Yo, 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 yeah, yeah.
Hi guys, this is Lyra and you're watching The Beatdown.
Ngikwamukele mbukeli ehlelweni lakho loluthandzako i-home study lokufundza usekhaya. Losembi kwakho nguye nokwaziwa kaDlamini. Kanti kule sikhathi samanje sitawufundza sona siswati selibanga la Form 1 na Form 2 kanye naye Sanelisiwe Mavimbela losavele anami etindlini tekusakata. Unjani namhla Sanelisiwe?
Ngiyaphila nokwazi unjani wena?
Ngiyaphila namuhla kakhulu. Sethembe kusinaphi uyaphila nawe siyawemukela futhi. Kathi sakho.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu ngiyajabula ukuthi sengibuyile.
Yebo. Namuhla sitabe sifunza tit-for tenkulumo I think.
Tit-for tenkulumo.
Tit-for tenkulumo
nemisinvo
yakhe.
Yes.
Ngabe sifundo namuhla ubheke ukuthi umfundzi abe afundzeni ekupheleni kwaso.
Ekupheleni kwalesifundo sanamuhla ngibheke ukuthi umfundzi akhone kunika inhlobo tit-for tenkulumo lesinato eSwatini, akhone nekunika inhlobo temsinvo yenkulumo lesinayo eSwatini.
Okay. Okay, ngiyathemba ukuthi umfundzi uso already ekhaya. Sanelisiwe ngicabanga ukuthi ungaqala nesifundo sakho.
Ngiyakubingelela mfundzi, lo membi kwakho ngumkholo lensundvu ngoSanelisiwe Mavimbela, thishela wakho weliphepha lesibili lesiswati. Njengoba sashito ke nokwazi sitawufundza ngato tit-for tenkulumo kanye nemisinvo yenkulumo. Singakangena esifundweni mfundzi wami, ngicela sibuke bumcoka bekufundza lona lihlelo. Luhlelo mfundzi wami kumcoka ukuthi silifundze ngoba sikuhlomisa ngelwati lelikusita ukuthi uwakhe kahle emagama eSwati futhi wahlanganise kahle na ukhuluma noma ubhala. Naku ke mfundzi nayike imigomo yesifundo sethu namuhla. Ekupheleni kwesifundo mfundzi ngibheke ukuthi ukhone kunika tinhlobo tetitfo tenkhulumo. Futhi mfundzi ngibheke ukuthi ukhone kunika tinhlobo letimbili temsindvo yenkhulumo. Lokunye lengikubhekile kuwe mfundzi ukuthi ukhone kuchaza kabanti bonkhamisa. Ukhone futhi mfundzi nekwehlukanisa tinhlobo tabongwaca. Asishishimbe ke mfundzi singene tukwaso sifundo. Ngicela ungibhalele isihloko uthi titfo tenkhulumo ngoba sitawuqala ngekukhuluma ngato titfo tenkhulumo. Ngingakajuli ke naso sifundo sami mfundzi ngifuna ukuqala ukutshela ukuthi inkulumo yonke mfundzi icala ngekuthi sihlanganise imisindvo yenkhulumo. Sakhe ngayo lemisindvo yenkhulumo emagama. Lamagama lawa ke mfundzi sibese siyawahlela. Sibuka kusebenta kwawo, sibuke nemicondvo wawo. Siwafake etibayeni lesitibita ngekuthi titfo tenkhulumo. Ngito ke lesitawukhuluma ngato namuhla mfundzi. Asesitibuke ke letitfo tenkhulumo, sichaze sitfo senkhulumo ngasinye ngasinye. Naka ke mfundzi kuthi namuhla sitawuthi nje fahla kancane. Angeke sijule. Tawuthi ke ngikuhamba kwesikhathi sesiyasibuka sitfo senkhulumo ngasinye ngasinye. Asesicale ke mfundzi ngiyethemba usibhalile isihloko sathi titfo tenkhulumo. Asicale ke mfundzi sitfo senkhulumo sekuqala sitakhuluma ngaso libito. Liyini ke libito mfundzi? Libito silichaza sithi ngemagama lesigagula ngawo. Timvo lesitibonako nalesingatiboni. Ngathi nje kuwe mfundzi asuqalate la ukhona khona. Ngiyethemba kukhona lokubonako. Mina la ngikhona khona ngiyayibona incwadzi. Lokunye lengikubonako yini mfundzi ngibona situlo. Sithiteke libito liyagagula netimvo lesingatiboni mfundzi. Timvo lesingatiboni. Yini ke lesingagagula lesingakuboni? Singagagula umoya. Umoya asiuboni mfundzi. Lokunye yini? Luthando. Luthando asiliboni mfundzi. Lesinye sitho senkhulumo sesibili mfundzi ngifuna sesibuke namuhla sabito. Yini ke sabito? Sabito ngemagama lamelela libito emshweni. Masithi niyamelela mfundzi sisho ukuthi ingena esikhundleni kwaleyo ndlu. Asesibuke ke nasisibonelo. Mawuthi nje bona bayathanza kufunza. Leli gama lelithi bona mfundzi uyalibona ukuthi limelele libito. Ngoba phela bengingasho ngithi bafana bayathanza kufunza. Kodwa nyalo angikafuni kufaka leli bito. Ngase ngifaka nang ngibona lo sabito selicobo ngamenda wamelela libito kulomusho. Ngiyethemba uyasibona sabito mfundzi ukuthi siyini. Asiqhubeke ke mfundzi. Sitho senkhulumo sesithathu sikhasiso. Siyini ke sikhasiso mfundzi? Sikhasiso ngemagama lasichazela kabanti ngelibito. Kuthi linjani? Linganani? Nguliphi noma labani? Sikhasiso sesichazela ukuthi linjani, linganani, nguliphi noma labani lelibito lesikhuluma ngalo. Singathatha nje libito mfundzi sithi imoto. Mangithi imoto ngeke wathi ukuthi ngikhuluma ngayiphi imoto. Kodwa mase ngithi kuwe imoto lebovu noma sengithi imoto lenhle. So uyabona ukuthi le moto injani. Ngachubeka futhi ngithi imoto yami. Lapho so uyathi ukuthi le moto yabani. Noma ngithi usho yipi imoto. Lapho mfundzi sengiyahlunga. Ngifuna kuhlukanisa le moto le kuletinye timoto letinenge. Lesinye sitho senkhulumo mfundzi sitawukhuluma ngaso sento. Yini ke sento mfundzi? Sento ke ngemagama lasitshela loko lokwentekako emshweni. Shothi ligama leliphendvula nangumbuto lothi wendani. Asesibuka sibonelo mfundzi. Mangithi nje Thoko ufunza Siswati. Thoko ufunza Siswati. Leli gama lelithi ufunza leli liphendvula umbuto lothi wendani Thoko. Sithike lamagama lawa sento. Asesishishimbe ke mfundzi siqhubeke sibuke letinye titfo tenkulumo. Lesinye sitfo senkulumo lesinaso mfundzi sanziso. Yini ke sanziso? Ngemagama lachaza kabanti. Nawa yachaza njengesichasiso. Manje ke wona achaza kabanti ngesendo mfundzi. Akasachaza libito. Sanziso sichaza sendo. Kuthi sendeka nini? Kuphi noma kanjani? Sanziso ngemagama lachaza kabanti ngesendo ukuthi sendeka nini, kuphi noma kanjani. Asesibuke sibonene. Sabelo uhamba kusasa. Lokusasa usitshela ukuthi sabelo uhamba nini mfundzi, uhamba nini. Kanti mangithi sabelo uhamba eludzakeni. Lo eludzakeni usichazela kabanti ukuthi sabelo uhamba kuphi, usitshela indzawo lapho ahamba khona sabelo. Kani mangithi sabelo uhamba kancane, lapha sengikuchazela ukuthi sabelo uhamba kanjani. Ngilele sekushoko ke mfundzi ukuthi sanziso ngemagama lachaza kabanti ngesendo ukuthi sendeka nini, kuphi noma kanjani. Ngethemba kuyacaca mfundzi. Asesibuke ke nasi lesinye sitho senkulumo lesisibita ngekuthi senda kuthi. Yini ke senda kuthi mfundzi? Senda kuthi ngemagama lakhomba ukuthi lokwendekako kwendeka njani. Lamagama lawa sinika sithombe emcondvo mfundzi sekuthi lo lokwendekako kwendeka njani. Nasi ke sibonelo. Inkomishi yamake iwe yathi phahla. Sekuvele leligama lelithi phahla mfundzi selivele liyakutshela ukuthi lenkomishi ivele yafa yaphabaka ayikasinzi kule ngodi yekuwa. Ngethemba kuyacaca ke mfundzi ukuthi senda kuthi sendani. Sisitshela ukuthi sendo sendeke kanjani mfundzi. Nasi ke lesinye sitho senkulumo mfundzi sibabato. Yini ke sibabato mfundzi? Ngemagama lesibabata ngawo ngalo kwendekako. Nasi ke sibonela. Mangamemeta nje njalo ngithi inyanza leyo. Noma ngithi maye. Ngiyababata mfundzi. Sothovele wathi uthi khona ingodi lengivelelako ufune kuta utongisita. Kubabata ke lo ngemagama lesibabata ngawo ngalokwendekawo siwabita ngekuthi sibabato. Asibuke nasi lesinye sitho senkulumo. Sihlanganiso. Liyadisho leligama mfundzi. Lawa ngemagama lesiwasebenzisa kuhlanganisa emagama noma imicondvo emshweni. Sihlanganiso ngemagama lesiwasebenzisa kuhlanganisa emagama noma imicondvo emshweni. Asesibuke sibonelo mfundzi. Mangithi nje kuwe ngeti na zodwa bayadimisela. Lo nalo uyambona ukuthi mfundzi uhlanganise lamagama lathi ngeti naleli lithi zodwa. Sihlanganiso ke leso mfundzi sithi sihlanganisa emagama noma imicondvo. Nasi ke lesinye sekugcina sitho senkulumo lesitawukhuluma ngaso. Siba njalo mfundzi. Yini ke siba njalo? Siba njalo ke mfundzi ngemagama lalandzisa ngebunjalo bendvo. Ngemagama lalandzisa ngebunjalo bendvo. Njengama ngithi mfundzi Thabo ngumntwana. Siba njalo leso. Njengoba ngishito ke mfundzi le titfo tenkhulumo sithi fahla kwanyalo nje ngendlela ukuthi utibhale ube nato tinchazelo netibonelo sitawuse siyajula ke mfundzi esikhatsini lesitako sibuke sitfo senkhulumo ngasinye ngasinye. Nyalo mfundzi ngibhalele isihloko uthi imisindvo yenkhulumo. Bese uyasidvebela kahle isihloko sakho mfundzi. Imisindvo yenkhulumo. Asasibuka ukuthi ngumiphi imisindvo yenkhulumo lesinayo elwimini lwethu leSiswati. Singakeni njalo asicale ngekuchaza ukuthi yini imisindvo yenkhulumo. Imisindvo yenkhulumo ke mfundzi tinhlavu lesinato elwimini lwethu lesitihlanganisako kude sakhe emagama. Tinhlavu lesinato elwimini lwethu mfundzi lesitihlanganisako kude sakhe emagama. Sinetinhlobo letimbili ke mfundzi temisindvo yenkhulumo elwimini lwethu leSiswati. Ihlobo lokuqala bonkhamisa, ihlobo lesibili bongwaca. Asasibuke ke mfundzi luhlobo ngalunye ngalunye. Singakangeni ke ekubukeni lo hlobo ngalunye ngalunye. Naku lokufuna ukuconza mfundzi kuthi elwimini lwethu lesiswati imisindo yenkhulumo siyetha ngekuthi sibuke umoya kuthi ubhekapi. Sibuke kusebenta kwetindzebe temlomo kanye nelulwimi nasibita lo msindvo. Asesingene ke nyalo sibuke kuthi lemisindo yethu siyibita sithi. Bhala sihloko mfundzi uthi tinhlobo temisindo yenkhulumo. Luhlobo lokucala udangibhalela njengoba ukubona mfundzi uthi 1 bonkamisa. Yini ke bonkamisa mfundzi? Lolu luhlobo lwemisindo yenkhulumo lesithi nasiyisho sibe sivule umlomo sikhamisile. Ngiko sithi bonkamisa. Isihlanu ke mfundzi lemisindo le lesibita ngabonkamisa. Ngubani ke mfundzi ngicanje ayikhumbula sukela ka grade 1 solo yayisebenzisa. Ngu A, E, I, O, U. Asisho kanye kanye mfundzi. Utawubona ukuthi nembala vele ukhamisile. A, E, I, O, U. Ngiyacabanga mfundzi ukuthi uyabona ukuthi yonke yesihlanu lemisindo awukade uvale umlomo usayibida. Ngiko ke sithi bonkamisa. Lokunye lokufuna sikwati ke mfundzi ngabonkamisa ukuthi sibahlukanisa babe tinhlobo letimbili. Asesibuke ke mfundzi ukuthi sibahlukanisa kanjani. Luhlobo lokucala ungasibhala sihloko uthi tinhlobo tabonkamisa mfundzi. Bese uyabhala uthi ihlobo lokucala bonkamisa bemvelo. Ngubaphi ke bonkamisa bemvelo? Ngu A, ngu I, ngu U. Ngu A, ngu I, ngu U. Kusho kuthini ke lokho bonkamisa bemvelo? Kusho ukuthi mfundzi site inchazelo lesinayo yokuthi labonkamisa laba baqhamukaphi. A, I na U bonkamisa bemvelo mfundzi. Gani B wethu bonkamisa bekuvela. Sisho ngani ke ukuthi bonkamisa bekuvela? Sisho ukuthi sibakha ngekuhlanganisa bonkamisa bemvelo. Lokusho ukuthi sihlanganisa A, I na U. Masibahlanganisa bo A, I na U sitfola bonkamisa bekuvela lokungu E na O mfundzi. Lokuhlanganisa ke labonkamisa la loku sikubita ngokuthi kulumbana kwabonkamisa. Lokhu sesithinzile ke mfundzi indzaba yekulumbana kwabonkamisa sesithuma ukuthi sikhulume ngetinguquko letiphatselene nabonkamisa ngoba lokulumbana nyinye yetinguquko letiba khona sisasebenzisa bonkamisa elwimini lwethu lesiswati. Nangumthetho lokufuna ukwati mfundzi kuthi bonkamisa abakavumeleki ukuthi balandzelwane elwimini lwethu lesiswati. Kanti singisini siyakubona akhona emagama bomunyu ukhanza kuqala M kuthi O kuthi N. ESwatini akwendeki ukhanze bonkamisa balandzelana. Ngakho ke nakuvela simo lapho bonkamisa kumele balandzelane khona mfundzi. Kuba khona tinguquko letendekako. Asesitibuke ke letinguquko ukuthi tiba ngitiphi mfundzi. Inguquko yekucala nayi kulumbana kwabonkamisa. Bhala mfundzi sihlokwana. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ubhalile ukuthi tinguquko letendeka kubonkamisa. Nyalo uyabhala sihlokwana uthi kulumbana kwabonkamisa. Kuyini ke lokulumbana mfundzi asesichaze. Kulumbana kwabonkamisa ke mfundzi yinguquko leyenteka nangabe bonkamisa bemvelo. Ngani uyabakhumbula bo A, I na U balandzelana. Anisithi abakavumeleki ukuthi balandzelana. Labonkamisa laba ke mfundzi bemvelo bayahlangana. Bakhe ngamisa lomusha lesimbita ngokuthi ngonkamisa wekuvela. Ngilapho ke sithola khona ngamisa O siphinde sithole nangamisa ngamisa E nangamisa O mfundzi. Asasibuke ke ukuthi baphuma njani labo E na O. Lokwenteka ko lapho mfundzi ukuthi ngamisa A uhlangana nangamisa I akhiphe ngamisa E. Gani O yena simthola ngokuthi ngamisa A ahlangane nangamisa U lo bese kusakhela ngamisa lo wekuvela O. Asasibuka ke mfundzi tibonelo tekulumbana kwabonkamisa. Sitawusebenzisa mfundzi sabito sekukhomba. kuthi masakha sabito sekukhomba sisebenzisa ke sakhi sesabito sokukhomba lokungula mfundzi lo la uhlanganiswa nelilunga lekucala lesicalo selibito lelingungamisa asesikubuke lokho kusigaba 1 bunye mfundzi sithi tesebenzisa sakhi la sibhica nelilunga lekucala lesicalo selibito lokungu khumbula ukuthi sigaba 1 bunye sicalo ngubani ngu mfundzi masithi sithatha ke ilunga lecala shothi sithatha nang lokusho ukuthi ke sithatha la simbhica na lo sithi ke esiswatini bonkamisa bakavumeleki ukuthi balandzelana ngithi mfundzi lokho bese kuyendeka ke la lo a na u batawulumbana kuvela ke lonkamisa wekuvela long o ngiko lesabito sesigaba 1 bunye kutabe sekuba ngu lo noma lona utawuthi lo umuntu lona ngibita lo noma uthi ngibita lona ngethemba kuyacaca mfundzi asisibuke lesinye isibonelo sigaba 2 bunyenti iyafanana indlela mfundzi sithatha sakhi la sizibhica nelunga lecala lesicalo selibito sesigaba 2 bunyenti ngabe yasikhumbula yini angikukhumbute mfundzi muimi lokusho sithatha bani nang lo lona ke mfundzi simhlanganisa nalo la lo sakhi sesabito sekukhomba simhlanganisa na bese lokhu bese kuyendeka mfundzi a na bayalumbana kuvele ngamisa bese lesabito kuba ngu le noma lena imiti lena imiti le ngethemba kuyacaca ke mfundzi ngekulumbana kwabonkamisa asasibukele enye inguquko mfundzi bhala nasihlokwana uthi kubulawa kwangamisa yini ke kubulawa kwangamisa mfundzi lena inguquko nayo leyendeka nangabe kuvela simo sekuthi kulandzelane ngamisa wemvelo yabakhumbula bonkamisa bemvelo mfundzi ngu a ngu i ngu u lo ngamisa wemvelo makalandzelana kanye nangamisa wekuvela uyabakhumbula inibona na u na mfundzi sithi ke lokubulawa kwangamisa kuvela nangabe kulandzelana ngamisa wemvelo kanye nangamisa wekuvela ngalokuthi ke mfundzi bonkamisa abakavumeleki ukuthi balandzelane lokho bese kuyendeka ukuthi kubulawe lo ngamisa wekuvela lokusho ukuthi kubulawa noma kubulawe o kusale lona wemvelo asesiyibuke ke lemvo lena mfundzi ukuthi yendeka kanjani kude itawusicacela phela kade tibonene asebenzise kwakhiwa kwesabito sekukhomba edvude ngesigaba 3 bunyenti siqalo sesigaba 3 bunyenti ngibani mfundzi nguema yasifanana indlela solongilena besisebenzisa etibonelweni letendlulile sisebenzisa sakhi sesabito sekukhomba lokungu la sithi la simbhica nelilunga lekucala lesicalo mfundzi selibito lokusho ukuthi sithatha bani sithatha ngoba phela sisebenzisa libito sigaba 3 sithatha lokwendeka ko lapha mfundzi lo la ubhicana nalo kubese kuphuma lo bese lokwendeka ko lana sesiyambulala lo nkamisa kusala lo nkamisa lesithe nkamisa wemvelo ligama leseliphuma lapho ngulawa so uthi wena mawukhuluma uthi emakotapeni lawa simbulele ngamisa ngalokuthi leli lunga lekucala lesicalo selibito akasuye ngamisa wemvelo uyabulawa kusale ngamisa wesakhi ngoba yena ungamisa wemvelo ngiyethemba kuyakucacela mfundzi asichubeke inguquko lelandzela ngomfundzi kudvonsana kwabonkamisa kude icacele kahle ke mfundzi lenguquko le kufuna sibuke ukuthi umoya ubhekapi nasibita a i o u sibuke liphimbo ukuthi lipha kanjani nasibita a i o u ngoba lokho kubese kuyasita ukuthi sikhone kwetha labonkamisa bethu ngendlela lehlukile letakwenda ukuthi wena ukhone ukucondzisisa ukuthi sisho ukuthini masikhuluma ngekudvonsana kwabonkamisa angiqale ke mfundzi nga sibuke nang Asimusho ke mfundzi sithi ngiyethemba uyanaka mfundzi la. Kuthi liphimbo lakho liphasi. Bawuthi nje liphimbo lakho liphasi. Lo ke simbita sithi ngikhamisa lo phasi mfundzi. Kani nase uthi noma uthi o. Liphimbo lakho alikho phasi kakhulu futhi alikho etulu mfundzi. Laba ke sithi bonkhamisa labasemkhathini. Ngoba leli phimbo lakho alikho etulu futhi alikho phasi lisemkhathini nje. Kani mase uthi noma uthi lapho livi lakho liyaphakama mfundzi. Laba ke sithi bonkhamisa labasetulu. Ngiyethemba yakuva lokho. Sithi ngikhamisa lo phasi. Na o bonkhamisa labasemkhathini. Na u sithi bonkhamisa labasetulu. Asichubeke ke mfundzi utawugcina uyivile indzaba yokudvonisana kwabonkamisa. Lokho bese kuyendeka ke mfundzi kuthi nkhamisa lo setulu asibuyele emdvebeni wethu sitayibona kahle. Lokho bese kuyendeka ke mfundzi kulokudvonisana kwabonkamisa ngikuthi nkhamisa lo setulu nawo uhlaba nemukhuba wekufuna kudvonsa lo mana akakhona kumfikisa la khona yena ukuthi abe ngi ubese uyashinja lo uba ngu mfundzi. Sithi nkhamisa lo setulu udvonsa nkhamisa amgucule abe ngu kani futhi nkhamisa lo setulu udvonsa nkhamisa amgucule amende nkhamisa o mfundzi. Ngule ngucuko ke lena lesiyibita ngokuthi kudvonsana kwabonkhamisa. Kuyabonakala ke lokhu kuna umdwebo mfundzi lo ubonako embi kwakho. Lokhu kuyendeka masibuka sabito sokukhomba etfude. Sigaba 3 bunye. Lapha sithatha sakhi sekwakha sabito sokukhomba etfude la sizibhica nesicalo selibito li. Gaba 3 bunye phela mfundzi. Lesabito sokukhomba lasitawuphuma lapho kutaba ngileli. Awusuthi wena ufuna leli likota pen. Lo sombona mfundzi kulesabito sekukhomba etfude sigaba 3 bunye. Ungumphumela wokudvonisana kwabonkamisa. Nkamisa udvonse nkamisa wasumenda abe nkamisa Kani phinza masibuka mfundzi sabito sekukhomba sigaba 6 bunye. Sakhi sesabito sokukhomba etfude la ubhicana nesicalo selibito sigaba 6 bunye lo. Sabito sokukhomba lesiphuma ko lapho mfundzi ngibani ngulolu udawuthi wena nginike lolu luswati. Lo mfundzi sombona la ungumphumela wokudvonisana kwabonkamisa. Ingani nkamisa lo setulu udvonse nangkamisa lo phasi wamdvonsa wamgucula wamenda nkamisa o. Ngiyethemba kuyacaca mfundzi kudvonisana kwabonkamisa. Dintsatfu ke ngigucuko lesikhulume ngato sikhulume ngekulumbana kwabonkamisa, sakhuluma ngekubulawa kwankamisa, sase sikhuluma nangekudvonisana kwabonkamisa. Asasibuke ke nyalo mfundzi bongwaqa. Ansi sithe sinetinhlobo letimbili temsindvo yenkhulumo besikhuluma ngabonkamisa nyalo ke sesikhuluma ngabongwaqa. Yini ke bongwaqa mfundzi? Lolu luhlobo lwemisindvo yenkhulumo lesiyetha ngekuthi sibuke lokwendeka emlonyeni. Nasiyiphumusela mfundzi. Sinaka kakhulu simo selulwimi nemoya kude siyethe. Kithi Eswatini sibuka ukuthi lo msindvo uphuma kanjani. Asivele nje sithi ngu A, ngu B. Sibuka ukuthi lo msindvo siuphumusela kanjani. Ungabhala ke mfundzi ebhukwini exercising lakho uthi tinhlobo tabongwaqa. Asiqale ke mfundzi sibuke ihlobo lekuqala. Ihlobo lekuqala lokufuna silibuke mfundzi bonzebe mbili. Bonzebe mbili. Yini ke bonzebe mbili mfundzi? Lena yimisindvo lesisinasiyisho. Tinzebe temlomo tiyahlangana. Tinzebe temlomo tiyahlangana. Asesisho kanye mfundzi sithi b. Ngoba uthi uyabona mfundzi ukuthi mawuthi b. Njengoba uthi buya b. Buya. Tinzebe temlomo tiyahlangana mfundzi. Noma uthi b. Njengoba uthi batata. Lo b letinzebe temlomo tiyahlangana. Nangilomnye umsindvo mfundzi mb. Njengama uthi mbongeni. Nalapho tindzebe temlomo tihlangene mfundzi. Nangilomunye make. Tindzebe temlomo tihlangene nama uthi mp. Impompi. Tindzebe temlomo mawusho lo msindvo lothi mp iyahlangana. Nanginaph. Njama uthi mfundzi pha. Tindzebe temlomo tiyahlangana. Wekugcina ke mfundzi ngunangu p. Njama uthi popola. Nalapho tindzebe temlomo tiyahlangana. Ngiko ke sithi lo msindvo lona bondzebe mbili. Nalihlobo lolunye ke mfundzi bongwaca lwangeni. Siphindze sibabite sithi bo lwangeni. Kula misindvo lena ke mfundzi nasiyiphumsela lulwimi lutsinza lwanga. Lulwimi lutsinza lwanga. Lomnye ngathi buta uthi yini lwanga? Una indzawana mfundzi lela tule emlonyeni emva kwematinyo phela sithi lwanga. Nasiyiphumsela ke lemisindvo lena lulwimi luyahamba luyotsinza khona. Asesisho kanye mfundzi phela utayibona lemvo lengiyishoko. Asithi J. Yaliva lumi ukuthi liyaphakama mfundzi. Jabula. Lo J. Lulwimi luyaphakama mfundzi. Nama uthi tjani. Asisho futhi mfundzi sithi njabulo. Nama sithi mfundzi impontshi. Cansi uyanaka mfundzi simasisho lo nji. Lolulwimi liyaphakama luyotsinza lwanga. Ashishimbe mfundzi sibuke lolunye ihlobo. Lihlobo lesithathu bongwaca sinini. Siphindze sibabite sithi bo sinini. Nasisho lemisindvo lena ke mfundzi lulwimi luba semkhatsini wematinyo. Lokusho ukuthi luvela etisinini. Asesisho kanye mfundzi sithi the. Yalibona lulwimi lenda njani mfundzi? Lufuna kuvela lapha etisinini. Itolo. Noma sithi nd. Njama uthi ntombi. Uyalinaka lulwimi ukuthi lenda njani mfundzi? Nama uthi d. Noma uthi nd. Lasisho lemisindvo lena mfundzi lulwimi luba semkhatsini wematinyo. Ngiko sithi ke bonsinini laba. Nalolunye ke lihlobo mfundzi bongwaca mphinjeni. Nasisho lemisindvo lena ke mfundzi umoya uphuma emphinjeni. Asesiyisho lemisindvo mfundzi sithi Jama uthi hona. Uyawuva mfundzi lo msindvo ukuthi uphuma lapha emphinjeni. Nangilomnye umsindvo Jama uthi ho. Lo moya ulapha emphinjeni. Ngiko ke sithi mfundzi laba bongwaca mphinjeni. Wesihlanu umsindvo mfundzi bongwaca lakanya. Yini ke bongwaca lakanya mfundzi? Yimisimvo lesithi masisho lulwimi lutsinze emalakanya. Nasiyiphumsela. Asesenake ke mfundzi utawutfola usawusho lo msindvo ukuthi yini emalakanya. Ngoba ngiyakubona ukuthi uyadibuta. Njama sithi ke mfundzi kudla. Lolwimi la ngemuva liyaphakama. Kukhona la ngemuva la litsinza khona. La litsinza khona ke mfundzi ngemalakanya. Noma sithi khuphuka. Noma sithi gawula. Laba bongwaca lakanya. Asichubeke mfundzi sibuke leminye imisindvo. Bongwaca celeni. Yini ke bongwaca celeni? Yimisindvo mfundzi lesithi masisho umoya uphume emaceleni kwelulwimi. Bongwaca celeni umoya uphuma emaceleni kwelulwimi nasisho lemisindvo le. Ngumiphi ke mfundzi asesibuke tibone? Uyawubona umoya wenda njani mfundzi? Uphuma emaceleni kwelulwimi. Ligama lingathini? Hlafuna. Asisho lelinye. Dlala. Ngiyathemba uyawunaka umoya mfundzi ukuthi uphumaphi. Nama sithi njama sithi hlinhli tseka. Bongwaca celeni ke laba mfundzi umoya uphuma emaceleni kwelulwimi nasisho lemisindvo le. Nalolunye lihlobo mfundzi bongwaca mfutfo. Lapha ke mfundzi umoya uphuma ngemfutfo. Liyadisho ligama. Umoya uphuma ngemfutfo masisho lemisindvo lena. Ase sibuke tibonelo mfundzi. Uyawubona umfutho? Uyawuva mfundzi? Njengama sithi senga. Noma sithi zula. Noma sithi fafata. Nangilomunye vula nat thulula vuma. Nawe ungifakazi mfundzi ngabe bowusho nami kuthi vele umoya uphuma ngemfutho nasisho lemisindvo lena. Asesibuke nalolunye lihlobo mfundzi. Bongwaca batfa. Bongwaca batfa. Yini ke bongwaca batfa? Lena ke imsindvo lesingayitayeli kahle lumini lwethu. Lemisindvo lena isebenzisa kakhulu ukukhalisa lulwimi. Osowulalela nje mfundzi masithi njengama uthi qala qala noma uthi mawuthi qondile. Lomunye wegcina uthi asuthanzi ke lo msindvo lona lo ngoba usho kuthini nqata. SimaSwati siyahlonipha asikuthanzi kunqata. Nange lomunye umsindvo mfundzi tiqinisa mfutho. Yini ke tiqinisa mfutho mfundzi? Lemisindvo lena ke mfundzi imisindvo lephuma ngekuthi ematinyo acinzetele lingemuva. Ayacinzetele ematinyo mfundzi acinzetela lingemuva letindzebe temlomo. Kude umoya uphume ngemfutho. Tiqinisa mfutho imisindvo lena lephuma ngekuthi ematinyo acinzetele lingemuva letindzebe temlomo kude umoya uphume ngemfutho. Shano nami mfundzi kude utayibona lento ungenoyikhohlwa. Asisho ke sithi imfene. Uyabona ukuthi kwendekani namlonyeni? Noma mawuthi mfundzi imvula. Lomunye uthi nzabanzaba. Ngethemba uyabona ukuthi vele nemambala lo msindvo uphuma ngokuthi ematinyo acinzetele lingemuva letindzebe temlomo kuthi umoya uphume ngemfutho. Asesinake nangilomunye umsindvo mfundzi tiphuphutsa. Yini ke tiphuphutsa? Liyadisho mfundzi leligama leli. Lapha ke mfundzi umoya uphuma ngekukhululeka uye embili. Shengathi siyaphuphutha. Kuphuphutha yakwati mfundzi mosikuthi asesibuke ke ukuthi lo moya utawuphuma njani masisho lemisindvo le. Nangu ekucala umsindvo mfundzi. Uyabona mfundzi? Cha cha tela. Cha cha tela. Lo moya uphuma shengathi siyaphuphutha. Nangilomunye umsindvo. Jama sithi khukhu muka. Jama sithi khukhu muka. Nangu egcina umsindvo mfundzi. Jama sithi thula. Asiqhubeke ke mfundzi sibuke naye imsindvo yegcina lemibili. Bomafonkholo mfundzi. Yini ke bomafonkholo? Lapha umoya uphuma ngemakhala nasisho lemsindvo lena njenga uyawunaka umsindvo ukuthi uphuma ngemakhala mfundzi. Njama sithi ngena. Na njama sithi nomsa. Nangelo munye umsindvo wegcina ke mfundzi ke lona umsindvo. Bosankamisa. Kuphimisela ke kwale misindvo lena mfundzi kufana naloku kwabonkamisa. Bonkamisa yabakhumbula a e I o u. Ngekuthi kufuna ukhamise na uyisho. Ngumuphi ke lemisindvo lena mfundzi? Nguyi. Jama sithi yena na u masithi wena. Sasifike egcineni kwemfundzi kwesifundvo sethu. Manje ke ngengudoje mfundzi kufuna ngikushiye nemsebenzi. Thatha na ngumsebenzi masinyane mfundzi. Uthini ke umsebenzi wanamuhla? Uthi nika emagama anayi imisindvo letwetshelwe. Kulamagama lalandzelako. A umoya. Cansi uyabona mfundzi ukuthi udwetshelwe lo nginike ke igama lalo ukuthi ungubani. B lidada. Udanginika igama lanang E ukuthi ngubani igama la E. Lolandzelako si indzawo utanginika igama lalomsimvo lo nz. Wekugcina nguyakata utanginika igama lalo yi. Siphela lapho ke mfundzi sifundvo setfu. Lesikufundzile ke namuhla mfundzi sifunze ngetitfo tenkhulumo lesinato elumini lwetfu lesiSwati. Siphindze safundza ngemisindvo yenkhulumo lesiyihlukanisile ngetibaya letimbili sathi kunabonkamisa kanye nabongwaca. Ngiyethemba usithukotele sifundo sakho mfundzi.
Sibonga kakhulu sanesiwe isifundo sakho besemnanzi kakhulu. Sethembe ukuthi umfundzi ekhaya kukhona la kufundzile. Sesitawubonana etfundweni lehlanzelako.
Siyabonga kakhulu nokwazi.
Siyabonga
Sale
kakhulu.
kahle.
Siyabonga. Mbukeli ekhaya ungayindzawo siyabuya khona manje kanye naso sifundo se-mathematics saka form 4 siyabuya khona manje.
This week on Eswatini Lifestyle.
Gents, how are the vibes?
The vibes are right.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys can have fun anywhere. Trust me. Anywhere.
Ngiyathi ukuthi lithalenta eSwatini liyenyuka lilanga especially ku-comedy sector.
Wonke lonke lesikole nangithi ngifaka lona sikazi ugcina nje ngi sola sikaptini uyangivakini.
Sinabo small sinabo gogo nabo silwane khiphani mamaski batonive emakhaya banive.
Angithi lo moya uyevakala abantu abamlotha usesisuke eqembeni. Na uthi asithi ukuthi yem.
Sayivele isukile masoti labahle.
Tune in to Eswatini TV this Friday at 6:30 p.m.
Better health, better life. It's another season on your favorite program, Better Health, Better Life, here on Eswatini TV.
Ayinibingelele kunemukele babukele emakhaya kulolu hlelo i-Better Health, Better Life. Lona thulula hlelo ngunokuphila masangana.
It's all about our health, our better health today, and our better life tomorrow. In the midst of this global pandemic coronavirus, Better Health, Better Life brings you closer to your health professionals.
Ifake emlonyeni wakhe. Nangabe nje ngidla imvolo egcwele amafutha, le mvolo ngidla.
So siyakhuthaza ukuthi lala abahlala nalala abanashukela abafunde nabo ngaloshukela.
Watch out for another fresh season of Better Health, Better Life on Eswatini TV. It's getting bigger and better every season. This season with COVID-19 is a must to watch for everyone in every home. Better Health, Better Life, your gateway to a healthy living.
A very good afternoon to our viewers and a very warm welcome back if you have been joining us since the start of the show. This is Home Study on Eswatini TV. My name is Nogwazi Dlamini, and at this moment we are doing Form 4 Mathematics with Lungelo Malinga, who is already with me in the studio. Good afternoon, how are you today?
I'm fine, Gwazi. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you very much. Today we're doing variation.
Yes, today we are doing variation problems.
Okay.
On our last lesson, we did variation.
Oh, today we're doing variation
Problems, yes.
Okay, what are you expecting your Form 4 learner to have learned by the end of the lesson?
So by the end of today's lesson, I expect the learner to be able to solve problems that involve the different types of variations. That is direct variation, inverse variation, joint variation, and mixed variation, given certain conditions. And also, I expect the learner to be able to find the equation of variation given the values of the variables. So those are the two main objectives for today's lesson.
All right, thank you very much for that, Lungelo. And of course, Form 4s, I hope that you are ready for your lesson. And just another reminder that we are live right now on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you have any questions, please text us those questions on our WhatsApp number. Lungelo, you may please begin your lesson.
Thank you very much. So, variation, the importance of variation is that it helps us to understand or to be able to prepare for our things properly. For example, if you look at the types of cars that we have nowadays, they are able to tell you, one, the level of fuel that you have, and secondly, the distance that can be covered by the car using that amount of fuel that is left. So that uses variation as to the amount of fuel you have and the distance you can travel. So now, as I have said, on our last lesson, we did variation. So here are the few things that we did on our last lesson. We defined variation as any change in some quantity due to change in another. So in variation, we are looking at the relation between two or more variables. So we have got direct variation. In direct variation, we said the two variables are linked together, and the increase in the one variable affects the other one. So if one variable increases, the other one will also increase. If one variable decreases, the other one will also decrease. Now, direct variation, that is it on direct variation. And then inverse variation. On inverse variation, it's the opposite of direct variation. When one variable increases, the other one will decrease. When one variable decreases, the other one will increase. So it does the opposite of the other variable. So in direct variation, you will remember that we have got y varies. For example, y varies directly as x. So it will be y variation symbol and then x. To change it to an equation, it will be y is equals to. The moment you change from the variation to equation, you then introduce the constant k. So it will be y is equals to k x. So that is direct variation. This will be a product of the constant. And now with inverse variation, for example, y varies that inversely as x. This will be y variation 1 over x. So inverse, it is characterized by the 1 over x. And again, we change from the variation to equation. This will be y is equals to, and then we introduce the k. So this will then be k over x. So this is inverse variation. So it is 1 over x, and then when you change from variation to equation, it becomes k over x. And then joint variation, this is where more than two variables are related directly. For example, y varies directly as the square of x, meaning y varies directly as x squared and z. So this will be y variation x squared z. So this is y varies directly as the square of x and z. This is joint variation. And then mixed variation, it's a combination of direct variation and inverse variation. For example, y varies directly as x squared and inversely as the cube root of z. So this is mixed variation. It has got direct and then it has got inverse. So again, also with these ones, to change to an equation, once you introduce the equal sign, you then introduce the value, the constant k. So whenever you change to the equation, you introduce the constant k. So let us consider this example on mixed variation. So this example is part of what we did on our last lesson. So the statement says, if y varies directly as z and inversely as x. So this is y varies directly as z and inversely as x. So here is the statement. Now it says when y is 5, x is 2, and z is 4. So the first thing we do with such statements, now you have your statement here. Y varies directly as z and inversely as x. So what we do here is we change to the equation. This will be y is equals to kz over x. So it is now in its general equation. And the first thing we do, with the values that are given, that when y is 5, x is 2, and z is 4. With those values, what we do is we determine the value of the constant k. So to determine the value of the constant, we will make the k the subject of the formula. So we'll multiply by x on both sides times x. This side it cancels out, and then we'll be left with xy is equals to kz. Finally, to make k the subject, we divide by the coefficient of k, which is z, divided by z, divided by z. So now our k will be equals to x, y over z. So this is the value of our constant. Now we can substitute the values that are given. When y is 5, so this will be k is equals to, where there is x we put 2, times where there is y we put 5, over where there is z we put 4. So 2 times 5, where there is z we put 4. So 2 times 5, that will be 10, and then divided by 4, that will be 2.5. So let us go back to our statement. So when y is 5, x is 2, and then z is 4. Yes, so we have all the values properly. So y times z, that is 5 times the 2. Y times z, that is 5 times 4, divided by the x, and then you will have your value of x. So you'll have your value of the k, which is the constant, that will be 10. And then on the general equation, remember the general equation, this one. On the general equation, y is equals to kz over x. So now, where there is k, we will put 10. So this will now be y is equals to 10z over x. Y is equals to 10z over x. And then the question further says, find y when x is 3 and z is 6. Find y when x is 3 and z is 3. Z is 6. So y will be equals to 10 times, and then when z is 6, this will be 10 times 6 over, and when x is 3, so this will be 10 times 6 over 3. So this will finally be 10 times 6, that is 60, divided by 3, that is equals to 20. So that is how we solve the problem. Now let us look at variation problems. So in variation problems, we'll start with the statement that says W varies directly as the square of x. W varies directly as the square of x, and inversely as y, So here is the variation. Now we need to change from the variation to an equation. So now this will be W is equals to, we introduce the constant k, and then x squared over y. So here is our general equation. W is equals to k x squared over y. Now let us continue with the statement. And then what happens to the value of W if x is doubled and y is halved? What happens to W if x is doubled and y is halved? So now here is our W. Our W is equals to k x squared over y. So now if you look at the previous example, we were given the values that when y is 5, x is 2, and z is 4. So when we look at this example that we have here, we are not given any values. We are not given the values of the variables. But we are just asked what will happen to the W if the first variable x is doubled and the other variable is halved. So in such instances, when we are not given the values of the variables, what we do is we will let or assume our k is equals to 1. So on our equation here, W is equals to kx squared over y, we will let our k to be equals to 1. Because k is a constant after all. Remember, it doesn't change. So whether w, x or y changes, the k will remain the same. So we will assume that our k is equals to 1 since it's a constant. So from the statement, from the equation, w is equals to k x squared over y. Now we have made k to be 1. So now that is why we no longer have k here, because we have assumed, or we have let k to be equals to 1. So we now have w is equals to x squared over y. W is equals to x squared over y. Now the question said, what happens to w if x is doubled and y is halved? Now let us double x and then half y. So here is our general equation. Now we are changing the values. Instead of x, we will now have double x. Double x, it is 2x. That's why we have 2x here. So 2x squared. And then instead of y, we will now have half of y, that is 0.5 times y, that is 0.5y. So that is why we now have 0.5y here. We now have 2x here. We have doubled the x, and then here we have halved the y. So now, remember, this power applies to both values in brackets. So 2 squared will be 4, and then x to the power 2, or x squared, will be x squared. So we will now have w is equals to 4x squared over 0.5y. And then, so here what we did was we wrote 2x instead of x, and then here we wrote 0.5y instead of y. We have halved the y. So now we have this value. So what we can do is we can factor out the coefficients of the variables. So here we'll factor out 4, here we'll factor out 0.5, and then this is what we'll have. We'll have w is equals to 4 over 0.5 and then into x squared over y. So when we simplify 4 divided by 0.5, it gives us 8. So it becomes 8 into what we have here, x squared over y. So this is w is equals to. So now we simplify this by checking what is new or what has changed in our w. So let us look at the original w. Here is the original w. It is equals to x squared over y. So let us look at here. What has happened to the w? Here is the w, the x squared over y. So what has happened? There is now this 8. And then you ask yourself the question that what is this 8 doing to the w? It is multiplying. So the answer to the question, to this question, remember the question was, what happens to the value of w if x is doubled and y is halved? So the answer will be, the value of w will be multiplied by 8. So we are saying this because here is our w, it is x squared over y, and then here is our w, it is still the x squared over y, but now there is this 8 after we have doubled the x and we have halved the y. So now the answer will be, our w will be multiplied by 8 if you have y and double x. So let us look at another example. So you are given that t varies directly as f and m squared. T varies directly as f and m squared. T varies directly as f and m squared. So here is this. Here is the t varies directly as f and m squared. T varies directly as f and m squared. So now, what happens to t when m is decreased by 10%? What happens to t when m is decreased by 10%? So again, we will have t varies directly as f and m squared. And then we can change this to an equation. This will be t is equals to k f m squared. T is equals to k f m squared. So now, remember, since we are not given the values of the variables, we can let our k to be equals to 1. Since we are not given the values of the variable, we can let our k to be equals to 1. So when we let k to be equals to 1, this will be t is equals to 1 fm squared. So that is the same as t is equals to fm squared. So that is the same as t is equals to fm squared. So now let us look at what will happen when m is decreased by 10%. So a value when it is given, it is a value when it, so the question, I can see that it is not clear. It says m is decreased by 10%. So when a value is given, it is given as 100%. So now when we decrease it by 10%, it means from the 100%, we subtract 10%, we'll be left with 90 over 100. So when you decrease 10% from 100%, you'll be left with 90 over 100. So when we simplify this is the same as 9 over 10. So now let us look at what will happen to t when m is decreased by 10%. So, okay, can we go over to Gwazi?
Yes, could we take a little bit of an infomercial break? We'll be right back just after some time.
Thank you.
Viewers at home, can we take a bit of a break? We'll be right back after this.
At this point, you shouldn't feel as if you do not have it. You have it for sure.
Find something you like doing.
Yeah.
Say invest in yourself.
I am your host, Dianza Dlamini, and you're watching Fame Unfiltered. Good night and God bless.
Emaphoyisa neseve lolu hlelo lwakho loluqhamuka khona embuthweni wembube lolufundzisa kabanti liphindze licwayise sona phela seve ngato tindzaba tekuvikela bona kucala.
Thokotela uhlelo lwakho emaphoyisa nesive kuso sikhathi lesisha njalo ngabolesine ngensimbi yesihlanu sihambama khona la Eswatini TV.
Welcome back to our viewers and of course our Form 4s. We are still continuing with your mathematics lesson with Mr. Lungelo Malinga. Lungelo, you may please continue with your lesson.
Thank you very much, Kwazi. So, we will continue with our lesson. We were looking at the question. Probably now it will display properly. So, you are given that t varies directly as f and m squared. So, that is joint variation. T varies directly as f and m squared. And then remember, to make this an equation, we'll say t is equals to, we introduce the constant k, f m squared. And then now, because the question further says, what happens to t when m is decreased by 10%? So we are not given the values of the variables. So remember what we said in the previous example. When there is such, what we do is we let our k to be equals to 1. So when our k is equals to 1, this would be t is equals to 1 times f m squared. So that is the same as t is equals to f m squared. That is the same as t is equals to f m squared. So now, our saying when a value is given, it is given as 100%. So now when you decrease it by 10%, it means it will now go to 90%. And 90%, it's the same as 9 over 10. So now let us look at what will happen to t when now m has been decreased by 10% or has been multiplied by 9 over 10. So here on our equation, on our general equation, we'll now multiply m by 9 over 10. Remember, this is t is equals to f m squared. So this will be t is equals to f, and then where there is m, we multiply by 9 over 10. M, and then this is squared. So remember, this squares all the values that are in the variable. Start with the fraction and then the that are in the brackets, it starts with the fraction and then the variable. So this will be 9 squared, it is 81. And then 10 squared, it is 100. So it will be 81 over 100 m squared. It will be 81 over 100 m squared. So that will be the value of m. So now here it is t, and then the f, nothing happens to f. So we decrease m by 10%. So minus 10. It becomes times 9 over 10. And then that will be f times 81 over 100 times m squared, which is the same as t is equals to 81 over 100 f m squared. So now let us look at the original value of t. The original value of t is here. It is t is equals to fm squared. So let us look at now the value of t. The value of t now, it is 81 over 100 fm squared. So try to simplify and check what has changed. So when you simplify, here is the fm squared, here is the fm squared. And then what has happened now? It has been multiplied by 81 over 100. So t here, it is equals to fm squared. And then t here, it is equals to the fm squared. But now the fm squared has got this 81 over 100. So what has changed? What was the question? The question was, what will happen? What happens to t when m is decreased by 10%? So since now t was fm squared and now t is equals to 81 over 100 fm squared. So it means the only thing that has changed, it is this one. So what has changed? T is now multiplied by 81 over 100. So that is how we interpret these problems when we are not given the values of our variables. Let us now look at how we find equations in variation. So given this table, given the table of variables, find the equation of the variation in the form of y is equals to kx to the power n. Y is equals to kx to the power n. So this is our general equation. This is our general equation. All the equations can be formulated from this general equation. So we are given different values of x and y. So what we can do is we can label them. That this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2, this is x3, this is y3. So because this is to say when x is 1, y is 12. When x is 2, y is 3. When x is 3, y is 1 and 1 over 3. So now from the general equation, y is equals to kx to the power n. So what we do is we can look at two values of x. We can take two values of x. So two values of our variables, two values of x and y. So we look at x1, x2, y1 and y2. So the general equation, remember, it is y is equals to kx to the power n. So for the first one, we look at the values for 2. So this is x2, this is y2. This is x1, this is y1. So the values of 2 over the values of 1. So now it will be y2 over y1 is equals to x2 to the power n over x1 to the power n. So now let us substitute the values. So where there was y2, we put in the 12. And then where there was y1, we put in 3. Where there was x2, we put in 1. Where there was x1, we put in 2. And then we simplify. The first time when we are simplifying, remember there are two unknowns here. It is k and n. So the first time, the first thing we look for, it is the value of n. So from this general equation, y is equals to kx to the power n. Here are the two unknowns, the n and the k. So we start by working out the value of n, and then we'll end with the k. So now, once we have the values, we can now simplify. So 12 divided by 3, it is equals to 4. And then 1 to the power n over 2 to the power n, it will be 1 over 2 to the power n. And remember, we can change this to an exponential. it will become 2 to the power negative 1. So this is the same as 1 over 2. And then to the power n. So when you multiply the n with the power with the exponent, n times negative 1, it becomes 2 to the power negative n. And you'll remember that when we have the same basis, the exponents will be equated. So this will then be negative n is equals to 2. So divided by negative 1, divided by negative 1, because we want the value of positive n. So our n will then be equals to our n will then be equals to negative 2. So here is the value of our n. So once we have the value of our n, we can now go on to look for the value of k. So again, on the general equation, y is equals to k x to the power n. Again, on our general equation, y is equals to kx to the power n. What we can do is we substitute n with the value of n, which is power negative 2. And then we look for k. We can use any of these values on the table. So you can use any of these values on the table. So you can take the first ones or the second ones. Where there is y, you put 3. Where there is x, you put 2. So you can use any of these ones. So we can use the second one. Where there is y, we put 3. Where there is x, we put 2. So we'll now have 3 is equals to k times 2 to the power negative 2. So this simplifies to 1 over 4. So this becomes k over 4 is equals to 3. And then when we are looking for the value of k here, 3 is equals to 1k over 4. So we multiply by 4 on both sides. Multiply by 4, and then our k will be equals to 12. So we now have our second unknown k, it is 12. Our first unknown n was negative 2. And then the second unknown, which is k, is 12. So we can now go back to the general equation. Y is equals to kx to the power n. So where there is k, we put the 12. Where there is n, we put the negative 2. So that will be our final step. So y is equals to 12x to the power negative 2. So we can also simplify this and say y is equals to 12 over x to the power 2. If we want to change the exponent from being negative. So we can say the 12 over the x to the power 12 over x to the power 2. And then let us look at this other example. Remember, the general equation, it is y is equals to kx to the power n. Y is equals to kx to the power n. So given that the table of variables, it is this one, and then find the equation of the variation in the form of the general equation. Y is equals to kx to the power n. So you can say this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. So now you can have the second one, y2 over y1 is equals to x2 to the power n over x1 to the power n. So this is from proportion. This is from proportion. If we had time, we would look at how we can solve variation using proportion. So now, where there is y2, we can use any. We can use any. So where there is y2, you can use this one and say this is y2. So where there is y2, we put 8. Where there is y1, we'll put 4. So the 4 comes here, the 8 is here. And then where there is x, where there is x2, remember this is y2, so this will be x2. Where there is x2, we put 4. Where there is x1, we put 2. So our equation becomes like that. And then we further simplify and say 8 divided by 4, it is equals to 2. And then 4 to the power n divided by 2 to the power n, that will be 2 to the power n. Remember, once the bases are the same, it means the exponents are equal. So 2, it's the same as 2 to the power 1. So that is why we are then saying n is equals to 1. Because the bases are both 2. The bases are the same, they are both 2. So the exponents will be equal. So now, once we have the value of n, we can now go on to look for the value of k. So general equation, y is equals to kx to the power n. And then we can take any of these values. So we can even take this one. So where there is y, we put 8. Where there is x, we put 4. Let's go on to the equation. So where there is y, we put 8. Where there is x, we put 4. So now this will be 8 is equals to k times 4 to the power 1. 4 to the power 1, it's 4. So this is 8 is equals to k times 4. So 4k. So divided by 4. So our k will be equals to 2. Our k will be equals to 2. So now we then write the general equation. The general equation is this one. So our k is 2. Our n is 1. So this will then be y is equals to, where there is k, we put 2. And then x to the power n. Where there is n, we put 1. So this is y is equals to 2x to the power 1. So that is the same as y is equals to 2x. That is the same as y is equals to 2x. So that is how we create the equations given a table of values. So remember, what is important is to remember the general equation. Y is equals to kx to the power n. And then once you have the general equation, you can use any of the values. You can use any of the values to substitute here. Y2 over y1 is equals to x2 over x1 to the power n to the power n. And then you can substitute the values to get the first unknown, which is n. Once you have the value of n, you can now use it to get the value of k. Remember, to get the value of k, you can use again any set of values. You can use this set or you can use this other set. You will still get the same value. So now once you have k and once you have n, you are now ready to write the equation from the general equation. So that is how we determine the equations using the general equation. So in conclusion, in today's lesson, we solved problems involving direct variation, inverse variation, and joint variation, given certain or new conditions. We were given conditions. Remember, it is unlike our previous lesson where we were given the values of the variables. But with today's lesson, we were given conditions. We were given new conditions, and then we had to change. We had to look at the changes in the nature of the original variables. And then we also worked out the equation of a variable. We also worked out the equation of variation given values of the variables. So that is where we were given the table of values. So we used the general equation, y is equals to kx to the power n. So we use this general equation to look for the equation of our variation. So that is it on the variation problems. I hope you understood, and thank you very much, Kwazi.
Thank you very much, Lungelo, for that lesson, and we hope that our viewers back home were able to learn a bit of something, and we're seeing you soon again for more mathematics.
Yes, we will.
Thank you very much. Form 4s, please stay glued to your screens because up next is the Form 4 lesson for Siswati. With me, we'll be right back after this.
Sinvusele Maswati lamahle kanye nabo bonke bazalwane eveni laseSwatini. Igama lami ngingayandazwane Health Promotions Officer walohlelo lolushasha lolubitwa ngekuthi yi-Faith and Community Initiative kafishane FCI.
Njengoba sisho sobe sikhuluma ngokusebenzisana nebandla. Bafundisi ngisho njalo namabandla anebantu akhiwa abantu lebafikayo lebangela lamaswati lesikhuluma ngawo. And kuyindlela kuba ngiyona leyo platform lenye lekubonakala ukuthi singayisebenzisa kwabonakala even then singayisebenzisa ukuthi sikhone ukuthi sifike kubo bonke abantu.
Ikakhulu lubuke ukuthi bantu basitakale kwekuqala enzabeni yokuthi kwanze umsebenzi wokuvikela igciwane le-HIV la kangwane.
But labantu bebathi disclose bona bathi sho bona sibanjani baphathekile batantazelwe labo bantu labo nabativa bangcono bebasithatha hayi ngithemba sengiphilile mina asizange ngisho kanye ndakunika nje good example sibatshela zabayekela amaphilisi
namhla ke ngide ukuthi ukhuthata indvodza into ukhuthata babe futhi asade isimo sakhe sengadi kumxoka ukuthi usade isimo sengadi ukuze utokhombisa luthando lonalo emndenini wakho utokhombisa luthando lonalo nasemphakathini.
With the change in technology, out-of-home digital media is designed to grab the attention of people who are always on the go. You can now watch your favorite show, Usile Breakfast Show, and Tinzaba at 7 on your favorite YouTube channel.
It's simple. You can stream these shows by following these quick, easy steps. Number 1, open YouTube. Number 2, search for Eswatini TV and click on Eswatini TV. Number 3, after you had entered on Eswatini TV, look for Tinzaba or KPS. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell button to get notifications of our video uploads and streams. And lastly, enjoy the stream. Stay home and watch Eswatini TV. Stay safe.
Ngomukele mbukeli ehlelweni lakho loluthandzako i-home study lekufunza usekhaya losembi kwakho kulesikhathi samanje nguye Nokwazi Dlamini kanzi kulesikhathi sitawufunza Siswati selibanga la ka form 4 kanzi vele thishela sowuvele sowunami Ncobile Mamba sowuvele sawuseceleni kwami kunjani namhla Ncobile?
Ngiyaphila sisinokwazi njani?
Ngiyaphila nami kakhulu. Namhla ka Siswati sidabe sifunza ngani?
Sidabe sifunza ngekuma kweliphepha lekucala.
Okay, ubheke ukuthi umfundzi wakho ekhaya abe afunzeni ekupheleni kwalesifundo.
Ekupheleni kwalesifundo no sisinokwazi ngibheke ukuthi umfundzi wami akhona nje ukuconza kuma kweliphepha lecala lesiswati.
Okay. Okay, siyabonga kakhulu Ncobile. Sethema ukuthi umfundzi ekhaya sovele sowutilungisele kufunza. Ngicela ukuthi ungaqala ngesifundvo sakho Ncobile.
Ngiyabonga sesinokwazi. Ngiyakubingelela mfundzi ekhaya. Sifundo sethu sana ubingelelwa ngithishela wakho Ncobile Mamba. Ngicela ke mfundzi ukuthi singakaqala isifundo sethu sanamhla usonzele emsakatweni wakho wakumabona kudze utawulalela isifundo sakho ungiphathele kwekubhala ungiphathele nelibhuku lakho la utawubhalela khona utothatha phela mfundzi emanothi sisachubeka nesifundo sethu. Sifundo sethu sekuma kweliphepha mfundzi liphepha lekucala simcoka kakhulu kuwe mfundzi ngoba mfundzi sitakusita ukuthi ukhone kwadi ukuthi liphepha lekucala lime kanjani. Ekupheleni kwalesifundo ke mfundzi ngibhekile mfundzi wami ukuthi ukhone ukuconza kuma kweliphepha lekucala uphinze ukhone kuniketa tinhlobo tetindzaba leticukethwe kuleli phepha lekucala. Utawungibhekile futhi mfundzi wami ukuthi ube sesewuyakhona kuphendvula ngendlela lefanele uma uniketwe umbuto kuleli phepha lekucala. Mfundzi wami liphepha lekucala liphepha lapho khona uphendvula ngekubhala tindzaba letahlukahlukene letinyenti. Sitatibuka mfundzi sisachubeka nesifundo sethu. Kubalulekile ke mfundzi ukuthi uma ubhala indzaba ephepheni lekucala ubhale indzaba lehlamsako mfundzi kude kuthi loyo loyifundzako ayithakasele phela mfundzi wami. Naka mfundzi ukuthi esifundweni sesiswati sinetindzaba lesifundzako letahlukahlukene. Letindzaba leto ke mfundzi tibhalwe babhali labehlukene. Likhono labo ke labo babhali mfundzi lacecesheka ngekuthi baqale ngekubhala tona tindzaba deliphepha lekucala. Nangakubekisela nje mfundzi sifunza umSamaria lolungile. Umbhali weMsamaria lolungile mfundzi waqala naye esikolweni wabhala tindzaba deliphepha lekucala ngilapho khona likhono lakhe lekubhala tindzaba lacecesheka khona. Mfundzi wami ngiyakuva kuyadibuda ukuthi iyini kanti lendzaba lekukhulunywa ngayo. Indzaba mfundzi iluhlobo lwembhalo longena ngaphasi kwesiteko. Lolu hlobo lwembhalo mfundzi ubhekeke ukuthi ukhone kubumba ucambe indzaba ngesihloko noma umbuto lotabuniketwe wona. Lendzaba yakho mfundzi uyibumba bese uyiteka kamnanzi. Lona loyifundzako athi nakayifunza athatheke mfundzi kusuka ekuqaleni ade ayofika esiphethweni sayo indzaba yakho mfundzi. Lokukhona kubhala indzaba ngalolu hlobo kubita ukuthi ucecesheke mfundzi wami ekhaya kude nawe ugcine sewungumbhali weludumo. Kungako ke liphepha lekucala sithi liqija likhono lemfundzi lekubhala tindzaba kude nalofundzako atfumbeke mfundzi ngenxa yebunanzi bendzaba yakho loyibhalile. Ngiyethemba mfundzi ukuthi sewuvile ukuthi iyini indzaba kanye nebumcoka beliphepha lekucala. Asesibuke ke mfundzi ukuthi leli phepha lekucala lima kanjani noma ke liquketheni. Leli phepha lekucala mfundzi wami ekhaya uma ulibhala litakuthatha sikhathi lesingaba li-hour nesigamu kulibhala phecelezi 1 hour 30 minutes. Emamaki aleli phepha mfundzi uma asaphelele angemashumi lasihlanu phecelezi 50 marks. Leli phepha ke mfundzi wami ekhaya lakhiwe ngeticephu letimbili. Kunesicephu A kuphindze kube nesicephu B. Ngiyethemba usenami mfundzi ekhaya. Tindzaba ke mfundzi ekhaya lesitawucecesha kuto kulo sicephu A ngunathi letilandzelako ke mfundzi. Kunendzaba lecocako, kube nendzaba lechazako, kube nendzaba lenika lwati, kube nendzaba levulekile, kube nendzaba mpikiswano kanye nendzaba lecabangako mfundzi wami ekhaya. Kulesicephu lesithi ngusicephu A mfundzi kutawuphuma imibuto lemithathu kuletindzaba leti lesengitibalile bese wena ukhetha munye umbuto. Kulesicephu ke mfundzi indzaba yakho ingemamaki langemashumi lamathathu phecelezi 30 marks. Lapha ke mfundzi wami uhlolwa ngekuthi unikwe imibuto lemithathu wena bese ukhetha munye njengoba bese ngishito mfundzi ekhaya. Nase ukhethile kumbuto wakho lotawubhala ngawo phela mfundzi ubhekeke ukuthi ubhale indzaba lengemagama langemakhulu lamathathu kuya emagameni langemakhulu lamane phecelezi 300 to 400 words. Utawuthi ngekuyibhala ke lendzaba yakho mfundzi bese uthola emamaki lalishumi nesihlanu 15 phela mfundzi wami ekubhala lokushaya khona mfundzi nendzaba yakho uma uyithuthukise kahle phela mfundzi. Utawuphindze ke mfundzi wami njengoba ngishito ukuthi emamaki alo sicephu A angemashumi lamathathu utawuphindze uthole lamanye lalishumi nesihlanu emamaki ngekuthi umise kahle indzaba yakho usebenzise kahle lulwimi waphindze wasebenzisa kahle netimpawu tekubhala. Ungesabi mfundzi wami etifundweni letilandzelako ngitawuqeqesha ngikuhlomise kabanti ngako konke lokubhekekile usabhale indzaba yakho. Utawuqeqesheka ngekuthi timpawu tekubhala ngutiphi utisebenzisa kanjani. Utawuqeqesheka ngekuthi lulwimi uma lusebenzise kahle usukubhale ini mfundzi noma usukubhale kanjani. Utawuphinza uqeqesheke mfundzi ukuthi uma sikhuluma ngekumisa indzaba yakho sikhuluma ngani. Asesibuke ke mfundzi sicephu B. Umbuto kulesicephu ngemfundzi wami ungasusela kule timondzaba letilandzelako. Kungaba incwadzi yebungani. Kungaba incwadzi yemsebenti. Kungaba futhi yinkhulumiswano. Ungaphinze mfundzi ucelwe ukuthi yethula inkhulumo. Ungaphinze mfundzi uthola umbuto lothi bhala umbiko wemaphoyisa. Ungaphinze futhi uthola umbuto lotawuthi bhala umbiko weliphephandzaba. Kanzi futhi ungawuthola umbuto lothi bhala idayari. Kusicephu B ngemfundzi wami ekhaya ubhala nakule sikubita ngekuthi simondzaba. Uma ubhala lesimondzaba ke mfundzi wami utawubhalela kuthola emamaki lange-20 pheceleti 20 marks. Lapha ke mfundzi kulesicephu B saleli phepha lekucala uhlolwa ngekuthi ubhale umbhalo wakho noma indzaba yakho lengaba ngemagama lalikhulu-50 kuya emagameni langemakhulu-2 pheceleti 150 kuya ku200 words mfundzi wami. Umbuto kulesicephu ke mfundzi uba munye nje vo. Mfundzi uphocelelekile kuthi uphendvule lowo mbuto. Lokusho ukuthi kulesicephu B awukhethi mfundzi njengakusicephu A. Sishito kusicephu A ukuthi ngilapho khona utawuthola imibuto yakho ibe 3 ubese wena ukhetha munye. La kusicephu B unikedwa nje umbuto ube munye vo. Uphoceleleke mfundzi wami ekhaya ukuthi uphendvule lowo mbuto. Utawuthi ungabhala ke mfundzi wami indzaba yakho yakusicephu B uthole emamaki lali-10 uma ubhale lokushaya khona. Uphinze nendzaba yakho uyithuthukise kahle. Utawuphinza uthole lamanye emamaki mfundzi lali-10 ekuthi uyimise kahle indzaba yakho, wasebenzisa kahle lulwimi, waphinze wasebenzisa kahle kanye netimpawu tekubhala. Ngiyakuva ke mfundzi wami ekhaya uyabuta kuthi yini lesimondzaba lesi lo ubhekeke phela kuthi usibhale kusicephu B. Simondzaba ke mfundzi wami luhlobo lwembhalo lapho khona utawunikwa simo thide bese kulesimo uqamba indzaba yakho phela mfundzi. Asesibuke ke mfundzi nasi sibonelo. Ekhaya kini kusuke umlilo lomkhulu lodale umonakalo washisa yonke impahla. Bhalela babe wakho lohlala eJozi umatise ngalesehlakalo. Lesi ke mfundzi simo lonikedwe sona lokubita ukuthi utifake kuso bese ubhala incwadi leya kubabe wakho. Kutabe kungakashi ekhaya kini na ubhala mfundzi. Kodwa ngoba sowuniketiwe lesimo, sowutawungena phasa leso simo ke mfundzi wami, ubese ubhala simondzaba ngalowo mbuto. Kulesibonelo sethu nje, utawubhala simondzaba, ubhalele babe wakho, umchazele noma umatise ngalomonakalo lobangwe ngulokusha. Uyakhuthata ke mfundzi wami ekhaya kuthi unake usafunza ngoba leli phepha lekucala aligcini nje la. Kodwa liphinze lingenelane neliphepha lesibili. Utawukhumbula phela mfundzi uthe amaphepha akasiswati mathathu mfundzi wami. Kuneliphepha lekucala lelesifunza ngalo namhla, nelesibili kanye neliphepha lesithathu. Lokufunza la ephepheni lekucala ke mfundzi, sithi kunake kulalelisise ngoba utawuphinza ukukhanze ukudzinge ephepheni lesibili phela mfundzi kuso lesifundo sesiswati. Utawubhekeka ukuthi uphinze ulusebentise lolwati lolufundzela kuleli phepha lekucala. Kuningi mfundzi lesisata uchushisana kuko sisabuka leli phepha lekucala. Njengoba leli phepha licijisa likhono lekubumba indzaba, asikabheki mfundzi ukuthi bese uyeba lokubhalwe ngilabanye babhali. Lesikukhuthata mfundzi kuthi ufunze kuticambela takho tindzaba letihlamusako. Uyadzinga ukuthi ufundzisise umbuto wakho mfundzi. Uvisise kuthi ukulawula kuthi wenteni. Uphinze uhlatiye kuthi ufunani ungakaqali kubhala indzaba yakho. Ngishito ke naphambilini mfundzi wami kuthi ungethuki utawufundziswa kuso lesifundo sesiswati. Kuthi uma ngabe uhlatiya umbuto sikhuluma ngani, uhlatiya kanjani. Uma ngabe ufundzisisa umbuto ufuna kuvisisa ukuthi ukulawula ukuthi wenteni, sikhuluma ngani mfundzi. Yini lokuvele lokutabo ukulawulwa ngulombuto. Khululeka ke mfundzi wami utakuthola konke khona la kumabona kudze wakho. Kubalulekile futhi mfundzi ukuthi unake linani lelidzingekako kuleso sicephu. Njengoba uniketiwe nje sisabuka ticephu deliphepha lekucala. Sesephetha ke mfundzi wami. Sithite kubhala indzaba kungaphasi kwetemibhalo yesimanje ngaphasi kwesiteko. Sathi uma ubhala indzaba mfundzi kumele usibhalele yakho, ungayebi phela mfundzi kulabanye babhali. Ngibekise nje ubese sewuguquguqula balingisi bendzaba yinye lotayikhetha encwadzini yakho lethi khulumanisive. Bese sewuguqula labalingisi sowuyenta kwangazuthi yakho lendzaba. Sitawubona mfundzi ngoba bothishela besiswati batifunza tonke leto tincwadzi, bayati ngayinye ukuthi iquketheni. Uma ubhala ke mfundzi ihlamuse lendzaba yakho, ulandzele futhi tonke tingoni tekubhala lotawufundziswa tona. Siphinze ke mfundzi sabuka lona liphepha kuthi lima kanjani. Sithiteke lineticephu letimbili, ngusicephu A nasicephu B. Siphinze sabuka kwabiwa kwemamaki kuleticephu mfundzi. Sakhanza ukuthi sicephu A sina 30 wemamaki emashumi lamathathu phela mfundzi. Bese siqephu B sakhanza ukuthi sinemashumi lamabili wemamaki 20 mfundzi wami. Etifundweni letawulandzela ke mfundzi sitawujula kabanti ngekubhalwa kwendzaba. Ngekwehlukana kwato tindzaba njengoba sitivedile kusiqephu A nakusiqephu B. Kusiqephu A sithite itaba khona indzaba mpikiswano. Sathi kutaba nendzaba lecabangako, sathi kutaba nendzaba levulekile tonke leto tindzaba utawuqeqeshwa mfundzi wami ekhaya. Siphela lapho ke sifundvo sethu sanamuhla mfundzi wami nawe sisinokwazi.
Sibonge kakhulu Ntfolini isifundvo sakho. Sethembe ukuthi umfundzi ekhaya khona la kufundzile. Sesitawubonana futhi etfundweni letlandzelako.
Sibonge ekhaya mfundzi wami ukhumbule kugeza tandla ngensipho nangemanti lageletako kuvukela wona umkhuhlane we-COVID-19. Lo sakuvalelisa mfundzi wami ekhaya nguthishela wakho wemoya Nqobile Mamba.
Siyabonga Nqobile. Mbukeli ekhaya ungayinzawo siyabuya khona manje.
Sinibusele maswati lamahle kanye nabo bonke bazalwane eveni laseswatini. Igama lami ngingu-Ayandazwane, Health Promotions Officer walohlelo lolushasha lolubitwa ngekuthi yi-Faith and Community Initiative kafishane FCI.
Njengoba sisho soke sikhuluma ngokusebenzisana nelibali. Bafundisi ngisho njalo namabali anebantu akhiwa abantu lebafikayo lebangela lamaswati lesikhuluma ngawo. And kuyindlela nje kuba ngiyona leyo platform lenye lekubonakala ukuthi singayisebenzisa kwabonakala even then singayisebenzisa ukuthi sikhone ukuthi sifike kubo bonke ba
ikakhulu lubuke ukuthi bantu basitakale kwekuqala endzabeni ukuthi kwanze umsebenzi wokuvikela igciwane le-HIV la kaNgwane.
But labantu bebati disclose bona batisho bona sibanjani baphathekile bajantazelwe labo banlabo nabativa bangcono bebasithatha hayi ngithiva sengiphilile mina. Asizange ngisho kanye ndakunika nje good example sibatshela zabayekela amaphilisi.
Namhla ke ngithe ukuthi ukuthatha indvodza into ukuthatha babe ukuthi asade isimo sakhe sengadi kumcoka ukuthi usade isimo sengadi ukuze utokhombisa luthando lonalo emndenini wakho utokhombisa luthando lonalo nasemphakathini.
Welcome back to our viewers. That was the last lesson for the day on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. How was your day, Lerato?
My day was fantastic. I enjoyed today like always. How was your day today?
My day was beautiful except for the heat, of course, but I had a good day overall.
Well, speaking of days, tomorrow you're going to have a very jam-packed day as always. From 2 p.m. until 2:30 p.m. we have the grade 0 class. From 2:30 p.m. until 3 p.m. is the mathematics class for grade 3s and 4s. From 3 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. we have the grade 5s and 6s class, which is Siswati. From 3:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. we have mathematics for the form 1s and 2s. From 4 p.m. until 4:30 p.m. we have biology for form 4 learners. From 4:30 p.m. until 5 p.m. we have the last subject for tomorrow, which is religious education for form 4 learners.
Yes, as always, it looks like a busy day for you guys of learning. And of course, just a reminder that we are live from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. on our YouTube page and our Facebook page. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to use our WhatsApp number where you can text us the questions that you might have. Now, from myself and Lerato. We will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in, and anything that you want to say?
No, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.